Well, my brother was on the way to jury duty and his car broke down, so we're scanning for codes. Anything?
Why is it taking it? Did I not hook it up right?
Oh, there it goes.
Output shaft speed sensor. Circuit no signal.
Yeah, so it is wiring, probably. We just unplugged this because the last time his car threw that code, the rats had chewed through this wire. Can you... Oh, I think I got it. I'm just trying to pull back. Did a professional little repair right there, and I'm wondering maybe it wasn't so professional, but... Oh, look, it broke.
It just came loose. It just broke.
Oh, that's right. That's all we had to work with, huh?
Yeah.
I used my torch and was able to connect it, but that's not a very good connection, and it clearly broke last time, and it was better than that. So I plugged my extension cord into Circle K's building. Hopefully they don't mind, and then my brother's holding the soldering iron. We're waiting for it to warm up, and we're gonna try to get it a little better than that, and then I'll probably I got that liquid electrical tape. Instead of using the heat shrink this time, maybe we can just schmutz that on there.
I think that's what you did last time. Put some of that liquid stuff on there also. And then put the...
Oh yeah, because it's on my finger, huh? But I didn't... I mean, it got on my finger, but I didn't really notice it on here too much. I don't know. Okay. I didn't use any heat shrink this time, but I put some liquid electrical tape on it. So I'll put this back on and put some electrical tape on there. Hopefully it's good. Alright, it's back together now. We gotta get it plugged in down there, and I can't remember how the hell we did it last time. I think it goes like that. Cool. Got it. Alright, I guess let's fire it up, see if the thing goes into gear. We might have to erase your code. Is the code still on there?
The light's still on.
Check engine light's still on? Yeah. Erase was successful. Cool. Well, I guess now we just test it. Well, we're gonna head back to my house since it's literally right down the street. He got out of jury duty. I guess they rescheduled him for next Wednesday, so he still has to go. But that car's been making some weird noise too that I had mentioned to him a long time ago, and it kind of stopped. I don't remember if we did something, but he said it's been doing it again. So if it makes it to my house with no check engine codes, then we're gonna try to see what the hell that noise is. Ooh, crunch. This driveway wasn't meant for lower cars. Well, how'd it do?
Seems like it's doing fine.
Okay, what about that noise?
Still making it.
Still making it? Alright, we're gonna try to figure out what that noise is. Oh, there he comes. What are you chewing on? Okay. Can we watch you eat? What the? Gonna bite me? Well, we got my brother's car all fixed. He got to get out of jury duty till next Wednesday. It's kind of weird that fix that I did a while back failed on that. The rats had chewed the plug off, or chewed the wire off right out of the plug. So there was like 1/8 of an inch to work with to solder onto, but I did solder it, and then I had to heat shrink it, and then I think we used some of that liquid electrical tape and then wire loom, and then we zip tied it. I mean, it was a good fix. I can't believe that failed. And what I'm thinking might have happened is maybe after I soldered it, when I was heating up the heat shrink around it, maybe I got it too hot, and it you know, if there's any kind of tension on a wire when you heat it up, if it's soldered, it'll come undone. And I'm thinking maybe it just kind of the solder came undone while I was heating up the heat shrink around it. But because the heat shrink was there, it was enough to hold it right there in place to where it was making a connection. I mean, it wasn't a good connection, but it was physically touching so that it worked for a while, and then maybe he hit a big bump or something, I don't know. But yeah, it was snapped off, and you couldn't see any like breakage point where like the solder failed. That's why I'm saying everything that I'm saying right now, is that it almost looked like two separately individually soldered things. That's why I think it got hot and came undone, but it worked for several months, so it must have. Anyway, I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but I've been racking my brain trying to figure out why it would have done what it did, and that's all I can come up with. But I'm headed down to one of those third-party MVD, motor vehicle division places, because if you go down to one of the state ones, you're there for hours and hours, but the third-party ones, you can usually get right in and out. So I'm taking my title, which is in my name. I was able to do that right after I bought it, but they weren't able to give me a registration because you have to pass emissions first. Well, I've taken it through emissions 3 times and failed every time, so I do have the paperwork that I got from Haggerty Insurance Company, so I'm hoping that's enough to get it registered as either a classic or a collector car, and then I won't have the need for passing emissions if it's registered as such. So wish me luck. We should know here in a second. I'm trying to find this place, and I'm looking at that window because we tinted those windows on that place, and I remember there was a problem we were going to come back and fix right at the top of the window, but we were like locked out because they were busy. They had a client in there, so we never could get back in there. But I can't tell from the outside, so my dad kind of told me where this place was, but it's either in this little plaza or that little plaza right down there. It must be down there. Oh, I think I see it. Oh, buddy. Car came flying in there. I see the word title down there, so I think maybe it's right through here. Yeah, desert title. Okay, so I just need to find a place to park. And my dad says every time he's been here, you just walk right in and there's nobody in line, so we'll see. I probably just jinxed it though. Yeah, that was pretty annoying. Let me see if I think this one's sprayed out okay. We'll find out. Oh yeah. And I guess you can twist this and get different spray patterns. So that's gonna be wide, so like that. I think I remember doing that actually. Oh! Sprayed that. That's not good. I think I'm actually going to turn the nozzle back the other way. I don't care for that. All right. Okay, let's see if that. Yeah. That fixes that. Good deal. Okay, he should be here any minute. I'm just going to chuck this because that is inop. I didn't really have time to mention it in the video the other day, but look at how clean this is, guys. I don't know if this was recently rebuilt or what, but there is zero sludge. I mean, like, I know if I popped the valve covers off my Jeep right now, they wouldn't look that clean. Because you can pop the oil cap and you can see, like, build up on most vehicles with any kind of mileage on them. But yeah, I was really happy when I popped this off the other night and discovered that you could eat off this thing. Anyway, I did that because I plan on adjusting the valves. I don't know if it needs it or not. So right now that one's down, and that'd be the intake side. And over here, these are all closed, and that one's open. So I'm gonna wait for my dad to drop that off, and then probably eat some lunch, and then I'll get on that. All right, that comes off, that comes off, and that comes off. So I just need to wipe this down. I'll paint it again because there was a couple spots where it looked a little thin, mainly on the sides right here. You could see like a brownish color through it, but it actually turned out really well. The other night you could see like what I thought was like little dust spots and where that bug had landed. But the next day, which was yesterday when I was looking at it, it actually looked really good in the daylight. But since I gotta have it off anyway to adjust the valves, I figured I might as well go over it a couple more times. I guess I should pop these guys out too. Should have done that. Okay. I might need to hit these again too. One more time. And I had to sand it a little bit where I scuffed it trying to pull it out. I don't get it. It came right out the other night, and then to put it back on I had to loosen the vacuum advance diaphragm thingy. And then, so I had to do that to remove it today. Not understanding, but maybe I forced it. I don't know. Okay, they're golden. Except for that little spot right there. Nothing's ever perfect when you do it out here in the wind. Slide it in the garage. So I am trying to get the old gasket stuff out. Let me zoom in and show you. I put some carpet cleaner on this brush, and then seems to work pretty good. Just try not to get it in the side there, but I've been going around doing that. Works really good. Better than the razor blade. That didn't hardly work at all. Yeah, look how clean that is. It's really clean. I still got to do the back side there. I'll show you that. Show you what I'm doing here. Just kind of a real bummer. The paint wrinkled up in the front here, which I don't really get that because I saw that happen to a guy, like a professional painter, and it happened to him because he painted layers too quickly. But this has been sitting for like almost 2 days before I just painted it. So I'm gonna set it out in the sun. Hopefully it'll cure being black and being in the sun so I can sand that down and respray it. That's all I really know to do. It's not all everywhere, it's just like right here and a little bit down in there, which I don't think you'll ever see that part with the cap and everything, but this front part will surely be noticeable. So, but being out here in the sun, it's probably going to get a lot of dust and crap stuck in it. So, but I think it's still a little tacky. We'll see. Alright guys, I'm gonna adjust the valves. I was doing a little bit of reading and it looks like mine are really loose, because from what I found here, let's see, I'm gonna put that in there as a bookmark, but I think the specs are at the very beginning. Yeah, valve clearances right here on an 8 valve, which is what we have. For cold, which it is cold, the intake is supposed to be 5 to 7 thousandths, and the exhaust is supposed to be 6 to 8 thousandths. And mine are like 20 thousandths or something. They're extremely loose. So anyway, to do this procedure, you have to, let me go back to, you have to find top dead center, which is not that hard. You need a way to rotate the engine, so I have a 17 millimeter on the crankshaft bolt down there, and I got a light right here so we can see in there. You see that yellow mark is right on 0. Well, that means it's top dead center, but because the crank goes around twice for every time it fires, you have to make sure this is facing number 1. I marked these the other day. That's number 1, number 2 back here, number 3, and number 4. So you can tell, and I have this loose right now because I had to get the, see that mark I made with a razor blade the other day? I had to move that to get the valve cover off. I had to loosen it and then slide it that way because it was hitting right here. But anyway, to make sure we are top dead center on the compression stroke, you can take this off, and this should be pointing toward the number 1. Let's see, number 1 would be right here, and it's pointing the opposite direction. So that means we're not on the compression stroke, we're on the exhaust stroke. So I'm gonna have to turn this a million times. I can only get like 2 clicks out of each turn, so I'm gonna have to do this a bunch of times till that yellow dot comes back around to the 0, and then hopefully, if you can see that, and you can hear the compression. I have the plugs in still because I didn't feel like taking them out. When I pull this boot off, it seems like the clamped part stays on the plug, and then I have to slide that back and re-clamp it if you saw that episode, so I don't want to deal with that. So I'm just going slow. I'm going to keep turning until that gets back around. Right when that gets pointing toward the number 1, this yellow dot should come back around. And it should be at 0. Is that 10 or 0? I can't tell. 0 or 10. Okay, so the mark on the right, sorry, all the way on the right is 0, and the other one's 10. Okay, so that's where we need that yellow dot. So let me keep turning. I should be getting close. Yep, I see the yellow dot right there. And now that is this part, which is what actually lets the spark jump whenever it touches one of those 4 deals. So yeah, okay, so now we should be top dead center on the compression stroke. And then if we go back to, all right, so again, according to our book, on the intake side, which is this side, it shows that when we our top dead center on the compression stroke, we can adjust cylinders 1 and 2 on the intake side, and cylinders 1 and 3 on the exhaust side, and that kind of matches up with what I'm feeling here. So 1, that one's loose, 2 is tight, 3 is loose, and 4 is tight. And then 1 and 2 here, I can jiggle, and 3 and 4 are tight. So that's right. And then it said, if we go back to our specs, it said for a cold engine on the intake, we should be at 5 to 7 thousandths. So right here I have my feeler gauges. I have 5, 6, and 7, so I'll probably do 6. And with all 3 of these together, I can fit them all in there. That shows you how loose it is. So whatever 5 plus 6 plus 7 is, that would be 11 plus 7, that's 18 thousandths. And it's still slightly loose. So they're probably at like 20 thou. They're all very, very loose. So I guess I'll start, we said intake, right? Should be 6, yeah, intake should be 6 thousandths. So I'm just gonna shove the feeler gauge in there. I need to grab a flathead real quick. All right guys, so I got a screwdriver and I got this 12 millimeter. So I'm gonna loosen this a little bit. And then I'll tighten the... What I'm tightening here is actually what tightens down on the feeler gauge. So you want it to have a little drag. So right about there. Let me see if I can tighten it. Come on. Oh, jeez. Okay, so that feels pretty good. A little tighter right there. Okay. And that's perfect. There's a little bit of drag. So let me move to the next one. Flip this over. That's what you did. Okay. Okay, that's loose. Tighten it. Can you guys hear that? Just a little bit, so I will try to tighten it. Try to leave the screwdriver in there while I tighten it. And they may move a little tiny bit when you go to tighten it, so yeah, like that feels a little loose to me. So I'm gonna go a little bit tighter, retighten it. Okay, I can still move it, but I gotta push some pressure to move it. So that's actually a tiny bit tighter than the other, so let me try that. Okay, that feels perfect. Okay, so now the exhaust side said cold is 6 to 8 thousandths, so I'm gonna find 7 thousandths. So that is 6 thousandths. Where am I at here? Okay, so 7 thousandths is right there. And we can do 1 and 3 on this. And then we'll rotate the engine 180 degrees. And then we can do the other ones. Okay, so that's loose. Okay. Let's check that. I can move it. It's a little tight. It's definitely better than 20 thousandths, I'll tell you that much. So I think we're good. Go ahead and do this one. That down. Whoop, it felt like it wanted to turn. The screwdriver's a little bit too wide, so it kind of grabs the nut. That's a little loose still. That's too tight. Still too tight. Damn, this one's taking forever. Okay. Actually, that feels too loose. Son of a beast. I don't know why this is. Once again, that feels a little tight. Man, I feel like I'm barely turning this. And that's too loose. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, that feels really good right there. Okay, now I'll rotate it 180 degrees, and the Amazon Prime truck just showed up. So. Okay, it's saying my phone is too hot, but hopefully it's recording. So I rotated it so that the yellow mark is back on the 0 there, but this is facing 180 degrees away from plug number 1, so we should be good there to do 3 and 4. Let's feel these. This one's tight, this one's tight, that one's loose, that one's loose, and then we already did 1 and 3, so we should be able to do 2, which is loose. Just make sure 1 and 3 are tight now, and 4 is loose. So I'm going to set the camera back up and we'll go ahead and do those. Alright guys, they should all be adjusted. I'm going to go ahead and pop this back on. And I have to, I hope I didn't get a bunch of crap in here. I had the garage door shut, but I'm going to go ahead and check on the valve cover paint and see if I can go ahead and sand that and get going on putting this back together. Ow, damn it. That hurt. Okay, I don't know what the hell is going on, but I just shot that right now and the whole damn thing is wrinkling up now. like bad. I don't understand. I'm gonna have to go look up what causes paint to wrinkle. I mean, unless this alcohol that I always clean stuff with before I paint is like reacting with the old paint, you know, the dried paint somehow, and causing this, but that is terrible. So ugly. I should have just left it alone yesterday and not even touched it. Well, I scraped off what I could. I'm so pissed right now. Jesus, I just don't understand. Just like everything else, like I said the other day, one step forward, two back. Just gonna rub this crap all on it. This should work good being on metal, I would think. I don't want to waste all my carb cleaner and I don't know. I just didn't want to wait for another hour or so for that to dry, sand it off, and then have the same thing happen again. So I figured I might as well start from bare metal, because when we did it from bare metal the other day, that first coat stuck really good. Didn't have an issue. So I'll let this stuff work for a little bit and then we'll check in on it. I suppose while I'm waiting for that to peel up the paint, I can work on this. I've wanted to replace this for a long time. This is the piece that goes up under here. And a long time ago I got the scratches out, got it looking a lot more clear, but it still has, looks like somebody tried to glue it on the ends or something maybe. Anyway, my dad picked me up a piece of lexan, so I'm gonna try to cut it, and I'm trying to think if I should use a saw or just, I might just try to score it and see if I can break it. That looks good right there. Nope. Yep. Nope. Okay. Just keep doing that a few times. It doesn't even feel like I'm going into it at all. Maybe now. Not sure how many times I gotta do this, but it feels like I'm all the way through right down here. Probably because it dulls it as I'm going. Ah, jeez. It is a hot one today, too. Maybe I could just break it now. I got plenty to work with it. Oh, dang it. Is that gonna... Damn. Almost long enough, but where it broke it. That sucks. Well, I guess I have one more shot on this side before I have to make a straight edge there. Alright, I'll put it on time lapse. Well, slight problem here. It's not clear. Why is it not clear? You guys see the difference? What the hell? I'll probably still try it just to see, but that's ridiculous. So I just need to cut like, I don't know, ½ inch. We'll see what it looks like. I can't believe that. I did get the film off both sides. Don't understand. Huh. It is non-glare, it says. Let's see. Non-glare. Face this side away from the picture. Yeah, this is for picture frames. So, the hell are you supposed to... Let me get this one off. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. That's not clear. I got both sides off right here. I peeled back both sides and it's not even clear. What the hell? Well, I guess I'll put it in there and just see. Maybe it'll look good with that fog, because I think it's for like your turn signals and stuff like that. So let me install it real quick. I'll show you guys. All right, let me. Oh, that's giving me problems now. Oh, thought I had. Okay, let me turn the ignition on. Oh, don't want to start it. Yeah, you can still see through there. You can read all the words and stuff. Okay, I might keep it then. Yeah, we'll rock it. All right, it's all back together. Yeah, you can make all those out pretty well, so I'm not worried about it. Hey guys, I got 38 seconds to say this. I'm editing right now, and there was just way too much stuff, literally just today, that I recorded. And normally I condense it and edit stuff out and everything just to fit it in the video, and there's just too much. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here, and I'm going to create another video, so I'll put it out like literally within an hour of when this video drops. You can watch the rest of it. Anyway, so thank you guys. I appreciate you watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks.